Hey everyone, welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. My name is Alicia, and today I'm bringing you something super new and exciting. I've been seeing this all over YouTube, and it is 3D sublimation. So if you're new to the sublimation world, what sublimation is basically taking a beautifully printed image and transferring it on to a polyester coated blank. So they make tumblers with this coating. They've got polyester t-shirts, lots and lots of different things that you can sublimate on. Now, the difference between normal sublimation and 3D sublimation is that the images for the 3D sublimation are gorgeous and that they look three-dimensional. So let me show you all exactly what I'm talking about. So this is a 3D printed sublimation tumbler that we use some succulents on. Y'all, how gorgeous is this print? It looks like I could reach out and touch it. These images are brand new to the Maker's Gonna Learn sublimation course. If you all are interested in the course, we will have a link below. It's going to teach you everything you need to know about sublimating. But these are new, these 3D images, they're just so beautiful. We had to have them. And so this is an example of one that we made, and we're going to be working with something similar, but different colors today. So you all can kind of see a dark option and a light option and see really with the lighter option, you're going to get more of that 3D effect. So we'll go ahead and get right into the tutorial. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the PYD sublimation tumbler blanks. These are the 20-ounce tumblers. They're very, very good size. This is my favorite size of tumbler. But depending on which tumblers you purchase, the sizing is going to be different and things like that. I know that the PYD sublimation blanks are tried and true for us. You're going to get lots of inconsistencies in sublimation blanks. So make sure if you are looking for a manufacturer and you find one that you love, that you stick with them and repurchase from them, because they are not all created equal. PYD is great. I will link this below if you all love this project and you want to get into sublimating, especially with tumblers. Their blanks are amazing. We are also going to be using the PYD tumbler press. This is so good. Y'all, we have been sublimating with a convection oven forever, and we just recently kind of switched over to using the tumbler press more often. I love it. We probably will never go back. The convection oven does really good. This just kind of takes it up a notch. So love their press. I'll link this below for you all as well. But before we start, we're going to go ahead and measure our tumbler, and then we'll hop into Canva, which we're going to be using today to make our design. And then we will go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to sit a burnishing tool there to hold my tumbler steady. And then you're going to need a flexible ruler. I've got one of the Maker's Gonna Learn rulers right here. And what you're going to need to do, remove your lid first. We're going to be measuring from the top to the bottom. Now, we want these measurements to always be super precise, especially when we're sublimating. We don't want to be off by much at all. So all the way from the top to the bottom, make sure you're as straight as possible. And we're going to do that at 8 inches. And then I'm going to take this and measure all the way around the top. Now, make sure that you're not grabbing tapered tumblers. They're much more difficult to sublimate on. These straight edge tumblers are really your best bet. So I'm going to wrap this around, making it as tight as I possibly can. Going all the way to that 0 mark. You can see it's right there between, it's right before 9.5. Let's go into Canva and start our design. So we're going to be using canva.com. If you're not familiar, they have a free version of Canva, which is great. You can use it to make your sublimation designs. All we're going to need to do is create a design. We're going to hit custom size. Make sure to change this to inches. And then we're going to make our document the exact size of our sublimation tumbler. So we did 9.5 by 8 inches. We're going to create a new design. And then this is where the magic happens. So you're going to start to upload your images over here in our uploads. I've already got some in here ready to go. If you are a sublimation course member, then you already have access to lots of our sublimation files. These 3D files will be added very soon. And you all can see right here, we've already got a beautiful selection. These are the succulents that I did before, but I think today I'm gonna be using this beautiful floral image. This is like a pink and beige, purple and beige floral image. And I'm just popping it in to my layout. I'm gonna pull this over until the edge meets the edge. Now the bottom part coming off here is totally fine. You can adjust it up and down depending on what portion of the image you want sublimated. I'm gonna actually move it up because there's more flowers if I do it this way. And then that is basically all it takes to add in your image. Now I am gonna title this just so I don't lose it in my downloads. I'm gonna title this Floral 3D Sub Tumbler. Okay, and then we'll go share, download, and I'm just downloading this as a PNG, and then we'll select download again. So once it's downloaded onto your computer, it's gonna go into a folder. If you don't see it right here, you can always go to your Finder or go to your downloads and find it there depending on what type of computer you're using. I'm just gonna open this up and we're gonna go File, Prints. Now I'm using an Epson SureColor today. This is a printer made for sublimation. I love this printer so much. I'm gonna go ahead and change the size of my paper. So we're just gonna be using the US letter. I am going to go to print settings, and right here you can see it's automatically gonna mirror my image for me. Now, if you're not using a sublimation focused printer, you're gonna need to mirror your image yourself. You can do that before you actually go to save your project. So you could just select your image right here in Canva and flip it horizontally and then save it and print it. But I knew that my printer would automatically be doing this for me, so I just went ahead and left it as is, and then you can see right here I've got that mirror image option. So it's not gonna be as important when you're using patterns, but if you have words in your design, it's gonna be really important that you mirror it. Otherwise, when you sublimate, it's gonna be backwards. So I've got my print settings exactly how I want them. Now go to color matching if you're using an Epson SureColor, and make sure to hit color sync. If you don't, a lot of times your colors are gonna be a little bit darker than you prefer. So I'm just gonna always select this color sync, and it's gonna match my colors perfectly. And now all we're gonna need to do is select print, and it will print our image out. Today I'm going to be using the ASUB sublimation paper. This is the 8.5 by 11. We love ASUB paper around here, especially for tumblers. And we're just going to go ahead and slide some of this into our printer. Make sure you've got the ASUB looking at you so it's facing up. Just going to slide that right into the tray. And then back on the share screen, we're going to go ahead and select print. Okay, so here's our image, y'all. This is gorgeous. I am obsessed. I love the colors. I love everything. What we're gonna need to do next is trim all of the white edges around our image. Now you can use a paper trimmer for this, but I personally prefer to use scissors. I can just get a better handle on it. Sometimes the paper cutter jacks up my edges, and I just don't like that. If you're more comfortable using a paper trimmer, go for it. But I'm just gonna take my scissors and very carefully go all the way around our edges. Be careful whenever you're touching your image not to scratch it or anything. It will scratch the ink off, so you just wanna be super careful. So now that our image is cut out, what we're gonna need to do next is lint roll our cup. So this might sound and seem a little bit crazy, especially if you're new to sublimation. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna actually stick my hand inside of here. We're gonna lint roll. That way there's no residue or like leftover plastic. Y'all, you would be surprised at the things that you don't see on your sublimation blanks. We love to lint roll everything before we go in to heat press it. Otherwise, it'll leave like random marks. Sometimes they're like little blue marks all over your blank, and we just do not want that. We want this to look flawless. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is line this up, And I just want to make sure that everything is the right size before we go to tape our image to our cup. It's looking like pretty good on the height area. And then we're just gonna wrap it. Okay. And there's a little tiny bit of an overhang. I'm just gonna trim that up just a little bit, just barely, and then we will get it all taped. So I like to line this top edge of my design up with the top edge of my cup. Make sure if you are using something where the direction matters, that you've got your design placed towards the top side of the cup and not to the bottom, or vice versa. We don't want our design to be upside down or backwards. And then I've just got some heat resistant tape here. This is made for sublimation. I'm just gonna tack on the start of this, that way it kind of stays in place. I'm going to do a piece at the top and a piece at the bottom. And then pull it as taut as you can. And then I'm just going to keep this top edge of the cup lined up with the top edge of our paper. Okay. I'm going to put a piece along this seam. And then I like to run my fingernail along the crease of this. You want to make sure that your design is on here really tight. So when you're sublimating, the two important key factors are pressure and heat. And so we really want to make sure that our design is snug on our cup. The heat press is going to help us a lot with this. But I also want to make sure that my tape is securing my design down to the cup really, really well. So I'm going to continue to tape this entire top rim and the bottom rim. The tighter that is, the less ghosting you're going to get. And I'll show you all what ghosting is here in just a minute. But what it looks like is your design kind of fades out and it gives it this just like weird ghosty look. And so people call it ghosting. So what I'm going to do is just work my way around the entire bottom and top and get everything taped down really well. And then sometimes I'll kind of take it and put a lot of pressure on it to make sure that that tape really adheres down. And I'm going to repeat the process on the top. So you can see here, I've already got our press preheated to 385. What we're gonna do is put in some butcher paper and then slide our tumbler in. I'm gonna press it for 60 seconds with the seam up. And then after that 60 seconds is over, I'm gonna put my heat gloves on, rotate it 90 degrees and heat it for another 60 seconds. So with this press, there's a little gap at the top. And so you have to rotate it to make sure that the whole thing gets sublimated. But you are going to have to play around with your heat settings and your time settings sometimes. This is just what works for us with this heat press. So even in the convection oven, we're using different heat settings as well as time settings. This one sends a lot more heat a lot quicker, and so we don't have to do it for nearly as long as we would in a convection oven. So 385, 60 seconds, rotate it 60 more seconds, and then pull it out and it's done. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get some butcher's paper ready. Going to slide that in there and kind of hold it open. And I like to put the seam up first so I can remember where it's at. So we're going to go seam in and then we're going to go ahead and press it. Now make sure if these knobs are not all the way tight that you tighten it all the way. That way it's firmly pressing on the mug. Like I said earlier, you want to make sure that there's lots of pressure as well as heat at the same time. This causes that ink to form into a gas, and the gas adheres to the polymers on the coating of the tumbler. So that's how the sublimation process works, and this should beep at 60 seconds. Okay, I'm just gonna open it, and then I'm going to turn it so the seam is at the bottom. We're gonna close it again. Okay, and then we're going to carefully remove it. Make sure you have heat gloves on. We're gonna let this cool down before we actually remove the paper and all that, because these get very hot very quick. So I'm just gonna take a weeding tool and start removing some of this tape. It's still a little toasty. You can let it cool all the way down if you want, but I'm impatient and I can't ever wait. So I'm gonna go ahead and start peeling this off, and I'm just wearing my heat gloves. Okay, first of all, are you all as obsessed as I am? I love this. I love the design, the colors, the fact that it looks three-dimensional. This is just next level sublimation for me. I'm hooked. So if you all love this, you can get these files. They're only in our sublimation course. They do not come in our standard membership, but they're great for the people who want to start putting beautiful images on their own tumblers. Y'all, I can't, I'm obsessed with this. So pretty. Make sure to look out in the sublimation course for all of these new 3D files. We cannot wait to see what you all create with them. This is just so gorgeous and I love it. If you made it this far, I just want to let you all know that we are giving you $70 off of our sublimation course today. This is huge. We have put so much time and energy into the sublimation course. We teach you all everything from what printers you need to use, what presses are great, and all of the above. Not only that, but you're going to be getting over 200 to 300 files, and we're adding more. So these 3D sublimation files will be in there very, very soon, and we would love for you all to be a part of it with us. So make sure to click the link in the description. If you're curious about learning more on sublimation, we have tested and tried out so many different things for the sublimation course, and we would love for you all to try it out for yourselves. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so you're notified every time that we make new crafty videos. And if you like this video, check out this one over here. I think you all love it just as much. See you in the next one. Bye.
Today we have a super fun project.
So much fun and so easy, and really one that I feel like if you aren't or you don't have the capabilities to do sublimation is very adaptable.
Yes, this one's great. So you could do this for print and cut. You could do this in so many different ways. So today, if you do not have our sublimation course, today could be a great day to grab it. Sadie, will you have that link available for anyone? Forgot to mention that. That is super fun. And then number two, you can get a lot of design space skills from watching this training today. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna build you up. We're gonna kind of pull in some patterns for Maker's Gonna Learn.
Yep.
We don't work with patterns a ton, and I think you should work with them more because I think we should work with them more.
And sublimation and print and cut are two absolutely amazing, like different techniques to utilize those patterns.
Yes, I mean, two super easy ways that you can start using more patterns today. So whether you're sublimating, whether you are just designing more like labels, anything print and cut related, you're gonna be able to pull in these patterns. You're gonna use them in so many different ways to help you kind of elevate your designing and do so much more there without, again, having to buy a bunch of colors of vinyl, do a bunch of layers, you know the drill, things like that. So you won't have to worry about that or go through all of that as much. So what we have today, I'm super excited to let you guys know, and I'm ready to share with you guys the supplies you need today. It is very minimal. So, of course, sublimating directly on wood, it could actually like just disappear because it's not really absorbing to anything. So what you need to have is a lamination sheet. So you need to have a lamination sheet that you can cut in half, like it's not covered. So you only need one side. You'll need one side of the lamination sheet per side of the wood. So we made ours right here. Here's what we're making today. How about that? Hope you love 90s country. We're gonna do a front and a back. The lamination sheet is super permanent. The heat will activate on here. It'll go in, it'll look super great. Then we'll be able to sublimate on it. How about that? Super easy. I'm gonna teach you how exactly to do that today. You will want to have some bungee, what would you call this cord?
It's
like
more,
in jewelry making.
Yeah, it's like a elastic cord.
Yes, elastic cord. You could add some beads on here, super easy. We have just these 3 1/4 inch wooden rounds. Y'all, these
They came from Amazon.
So affordable. You can get these at Amazon. You can get these at Walmart, Hobby Lobby. Super easy.
And we actually got them in a really big bag.
In a big bag of like
so
100.
we use them for so many different things.
Yeah, we keep these. These are just good to have. Christmas ornaments, what we're doing for the car today, like you could do a lot of these. So we've linked them down below. So if you wanna get our pack, we have linked that, which is awesome. You will need a true control knife. I'll share with you why. We are using sublimation paper. I will tell you, you don't have to use sublimation paper if you don't want to. You can actually use printer paper. I have a whole training on, they're very similar, but we prefer to use sublimation paper. Super awesome, super easy, and it is gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure that's like all the supplies. Of course, let's go to the main camera. This is our heat press we have today. This is like the biggest heat press you will ever need. This is an investment. This is a StarCraft. You don't have to use a StarCraft. They have ones on Amazon. They're really great too. I purchased this as like, I just wanted it. Can I just tell y'all that? I just wanted this one. This one's really fun. I've always seen people with this one, and it was one of those things when we started developing the sublimation course, it was a great way for me to justify getting a new heat press. So it took me a long time to get this. Like, they're expensive. So don't feel like you have to buy this one. This is just like a splurge because we're crafters. And I want
very much a splurge.
Very much a splurge. You could get literally, Lauren, you could get one for what, half the price?
Yeah, so I was actually putting together something new coming. Something new coming for you guys. I was putting that together and I found one that I think is very, very comparable on Amazon for like $200.
Oh yeah, so see, you'll be able to get these when you're ready to invest. Like you'll be able to get these really, really easily, which is awesome. Is everything you're teaching today go be in the sublimation course? Kelly, yeah, pretty much everything we touch on today, if not more, I mean, for sure more is in the program. So yeah, if you haven't signed up, go ahead and sign up. There is so much more than what we're training you on today in the course. And the reason you buy a course is because we start at step 1 and we walk you through the whole journey really at your own pace, which is super awesome. So yay!
I just now thought before you jump in.
I do need some butcher's paper. Oh,
it's right here.
Thank you.
But you need to bump that heat press up to 380, 385 because it was on 270 where I just did some puff vinyl.
No, you're good. You're good. So I'm just go ahead and set this to like 380. So let's go ahead and share the screen and I'll walk you through how to get set up for today's project. All right, so we have 2 different options for you guys to choose from, and I think it'll be fun to ask the audience today which one we should recreate. So if you would like us to recreate the Hope You Like 90s Country, will you drop me a number 1 in the comments? All right, drop number 1 in the comments if you want us to create that one. And then comment number 2 if you would like us to make the Hope You Like 2000s Hip Hop. So whichever one that you comment, 1 or 2, Lauren will decide on which one we make. So go ahead and drop that in the comments. We are using 2 Makers Gonna Learn fonts. We're using 2 patterns for Makers Gonna Learn, and we're just adding an offset. Y'all, this is super easy. I cannot wait to walk you guys through this. It's gonna be super fun. If you love 90s country, thank you for showing up and showing out. But today on the show, we are going to recreate this one. The best part is you can redo this either way. If you are wanting to make the 90s country one, let me share with you the font. And is the font Giddy Up? Yeah, the font is Giddy Up. And do we know the name? Is the file linked down below for them?
Yeah, they all should be linked. It's so the cow pattern. Cow pattern is the pattern that we use. Giddy Up is the font. They both should be linked down below. Woo-hoo. And then the other one is Abstract. It's an abstract pattern.
Love it.
And then Dreamcatcher font.
Dreamcatcher, yay! All right, y'all. So it is gonna be super fun. When you're over at Maker's Gonna Learn, you can see here's the Giddy Up. And then if you wanna take a look at Dreamcatcher, you can go over here and you can see we have the Dreamcatcher. It's very, very fun, super simple. When you are a member, you don't have ads. So if you're a member and you're not signed in, just go ahead and click sign in to make sure you have access to everything.
The Dreamcatcher is one we do need to download.
Yeah, so we're gonna download the Dreamcatcher font. One thing I wanna share with you guys is that you can type in like any samples. So like you could type in hello and see, you know, the samples. So we love having this feature on Maker's Gonna Learn. Again, for our dollar deal today, guess what? You could download this font because you have 20 credits to download whatever you want. And it's super simple. When you download a font, you're just gonna click on that zip file. You're gonna open that zip file up. This font is an OTF. You'll click install. Super easy. I love it. Nobody's dissing your country, Diane. We love it.
Oh no. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's awesome. So now the font is downloaded onto your device, which is fantastic. But guess what? It is not in Design Space. So we must go ahead, save our project, and we'll just save that real fast. And then guess what? We are now going to reload Design Space. You could go up here and click quit, all of that, but guess what? We're just going to do a force reload, which is our favorite. And then sometimes the car project pops back up. Sometimes it goes away. It popped back up today, which is beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom on in, and guess what? It's really simple to go ahead and get this shape that we're using today because we are using just a circle. So we're going to grab shapes. We are going to grab a circle, and we're going to size it at 3.25. Should we do any larger than 3.25 so that we have a little overhang, do you think?
The reason that I just did the 3.25 is because that is the size of that, and I wanted to make sure that my words fit perfectly in that 3.25.
So if you wanted to have a little overhang, you would just want to be weary of your font being a little smaller. So that is awesome. The pattern we are using today is linked down below. But if you go over to cut files, we can actually show you it. So you can search abstract.
Yes.
Beautiful. And you can see, y'all, we have a lot of different patterns. Like there's a lot of crazy ones. You can just download the abstract one here because that's the one we're using. We have probably a patterns. Yeah, look at this. If you just want to take a look at a lot of different interesting patterns, check this out. So we could go view all. Let's see how long it would take to load all of them. Hopefully it wouldn't take too long. But you can see here, we have a lot of different patterns. I mean, they literally just loaded all of them. Like there's spring patterns. We have patterns with dark background. Oh my gosh, the cup wrap. I mean, come on, y'all. Another cup wrap. I mean, look at all these cup wraps that you could use in different ways. So they're very, very customizable. Egg and carrots. I mean, I love that. I love it.
So many different patterns on the website.
So many. So you could take any of these, okay? So you could take any of these patterns and bring it together. Valentine's Day, small stroke, transparent, Valentine's pattern with donuts. I've never seen that one. So it's super fun. So anyway, we're gonna open up the abstract file. We now have that PNG, and we're going to drop it over in Design Space. So what we'll do is we're going to go to upload. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them. Now's a great time to ask any Design Space questions. We're going to say this is a complex image and press continue. We're happy with how it looks. Continue. And this is the big part. We want to make sure it's a print, then cut image. So click upload. Ta-da! Ta-da! And it's just uploading. So we're going to add this pattern to our canvas. And it's a very large file. So you can just scale it down. Scale this down. Love it. Now, I will say, depending on how small you make your file, will decide and determine how your pattern is going to look, okay? So what I mean by that is if you zoom it out, it'll be more focused, and if you scale it down, you'll have more patterns. So that's just like a quick tip. Now, we're just gonna place this over our shape. We're gonna select both of these. And you can click slice, or you can click, you could click intersect, I believe. I thought so. It did the opposite.
I slice it.
Yeah, it does the opposite with patterns, so you do just want to be familiar. I like challenging myself to see if I can use some of these features. So if we do subtract, it says none.
I think patterns you have to do slice.
Which is interesting. So once you slice it, look at that. You can just delete out the big piece, and then you'll have two pieces. So you're gonna wanna keep your pattern piece. You don't need your circle anymore. Ta-da! All right, now we get to grab our Dreamcatcher font. Guys, this is so easy, right? Are you guys picking up what we're sitting down? We're gonna type out, hope you like 2000s hip hop. Hope you like, and I'm gonna scale this down because this is big, big. Hope you like 2000s hip hop. Beautiful. So once we have that, we can scale this down just like so. And again, we definitely need a little something, something. So the easiest something, something you can do is just go add an offset, and you can decide this offset. So we're using round corners, and we're just gonna bring this in, bring it in. And you can kind of just play around with where you want it. And then once you're happy, you can go ahead and click apply. And we're gonna change the offset. You can go up here to the color, and we're gonna change it to that pink. So ta-da! You can go down to advanced and like create a color of your own too. So whichever one you want. So there you have it. The last step here would be to select all of this. All right, select all of this here. And once you're happy with it, you're going to go ahead and press flatten. All right, press flatten. Ta-da! And then boom, look at that. You have your two awesome ones that are ready to go, and you will now have no problem whatsoever getting this ready and preparing. So we only need one. So here it is. And now we're gonna talk about the relationship between your printer with your computer. So let's go ahead and act like we're just gonna print this like normal. We're gonna press make it. And you can see it is right here, super easy. We have this black box. The black box is really close. Is it always like that? It used to not be. So look at our, it's not that close, but.
I think it's just because you have it selected.
Oh, okay, perfect. I was about to be
also, I would add 2 copies.
Yes, so we need one for the front and the back. Thank you. I was about to totally forget that. So you do need one for the front, and you do need one for the back. So again, material size is the same. We do not want to mirror this because again, it's gonna be sublimate. We do want to mirror this.
No,
we don't.
Not with the printer we're using. We do not.
My word. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about this. So our sure color is go automatically.
Yes.
Go ahead and mirror it.
Because for those that have been around the channel and those that have seen us sublimate before, if we are not needing a large format printer, we always gravitate toward our Epson Sure Color F170 printer, which is a sublimation ready printer that Epson has created for the at-home sublimator.
And we love it, and it's
Yes.
super easy. Y'all, the colors on here, if you're like scared about picking a printer, pick the Sure color to start with. It's awesome.
Because you do not have to work with color profiles.
You don't have to work with color profiles. You don't have to worry about mirroring, like none of that. So if you have a traditional printer, you just have to make sure to mirror it or flip it. But with this, you don't have to at all. So that's awesome. So now that we have it, we're gonna press continue. And we're gonna click send to printer. And we're not going to choose the printer from Cricut Design Space. We're gonna click up here and go to use system dialog.
Turn the bleed off.
We're gonna turn bleed off, thank you, and press print. And then boom, look what's gonna pop up. Ta-da! So we're going to use the Sure color. We're going to make sure that it's the right size, you know, same settings, everything like that. Lauren, anything else you think we should do to it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you like going over here to print settings?
Nope.
Or, oops.
I like going to the color matching.
Yeah.
And doing color sync.
So color sync is going to go ahead and sync it with like the built-in like type of software that's in here, yeah?
Yeah, so color sync, there is a difference. There's Epson color match and the color sync. Color sync is going to give you more or less the colors you see on the screen.
Yes.
The Epson color controls, I think is what it's called, gives you a deeper color.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it tends to, I don't know, I found that it tends to look burnt sometimes.
Yeah.
So I always go to I like color sync the best.
Yes. If you have a printer that you're converting and you need help getting like your, you know, all the things, your colors like synced up and get those added to your computer, we teach that inside the program. So, you know, there's kind of a few steps to go through to do that. Can be a little overwhelming, so it's taught, so it's super easy, and we love it. So yay, that is awesome. Now, when this prints out, has anyone ever experienced this? When you print it out, look at this. Totally different. Guys, totally, totally different. So it's always gonna be lighter when you print it out than when you actually sublimate it. So you're gonna see this transformation, all right? You're gonna be able to see it. I'm going to let this dry for a second, then we'll cut these out, and it's super easy. While we wait before we cut this, what we're gonna do is we're going to heat set our laminate sheet. So we'll be able to go ahead and just attach our laminate sheet down. We'll do one side at a time, and then we'll be able to just adhere it. So I'm going to use some butcher's paper just to protect my surface. I don't think the laminate sheet it'll probably stick to it, right?
I always like to sandwich in between a regular sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Like put the regular sheet of paper on bottom,
Yeah.
then your whatever you want to sublimate on, and then your laminate sheet on top.
Right.
And the laminate sheet that he is using is just like your regular pocket laminate sheet that you
we
can
cut
get
in
from
half.
Walmart.
So
We've torn it in
affordable.
half and then cut it up to the size we need it.
Yeah, just whatever size you need. And then, I mean, Lauren, this doesn't take long at all. Should I add another sheet of paper?
You can do another sheet of paper on top.
Yeah.
Actually, laminate sheet does not have a very high adhere temperature. So it can adhere at a lower temperature. So you only need it under there for like a few seconds.
I'm honestly not even gonna let it touch that much.
That should be good.
So we're just, I mean, that was like 5 seconds? And then you can take a look at it and you can see how it's went on.
Now
Love
it is going to stick to the paper, so you're gonna have to cut it away from the paper.
Yeah. So look at this. Awesome. So it's adhered on here, and it was just very little that it stuck, so nothing crazy. You can do a true control knife, or you can do scissors. I think a good mix between both of them is really handy. Do I have anything like a Cricut mat I could cut around? I don't want to hurt the table too much, but I'll use this paper. So I'm just gonna go through and go around this one. And the laminate sheet is so nice to go ahead and cut around. And you can kind of start feeling it pop out. And honestly, this wood that we're using is perfect. And again, the wood is very lightweight. So again, perfect for a little car project. And we're just gonna do this other side. So remember, we're doing one on the front and one on the back. I just wanna make sure the wood debris is not on there. So I'm just peeling off this. So now I have a truly, like fully laminated coat of sublimation. So let's take a look at this. So it feels, y'all, it feels really good. Feels awesome, super simple, okay? So what we're gonna do, grab our scissors. I just poked myself with tweezers. That was not fun, it's okay. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna cut this out. And there's so many, guys, so many sublimation hacks out there that you can use. So there's so many different hacks out there that you can use. Lauren, what were you looking for?
I couldn't see the tape from my side. Oh. The heat press was blocking it from the back.
Y'all, can we just talk about our heat tape? Like, shout out to heat tape. I totally forgot to mention this in supplies. This will change your life. There's heat sprays that you could use in some instances, but the tape is like ride or die, okay? Also, I just found these scissors and they work so much better.
I had this laying out.
I know.
See, Tanner says he loves the heat tape. I'm more of a, now for smaller projects like this that I don't want to.
For small ones like this,
For small projects like this, I don't get out the sublimation adhesive spray, but for projects that I have to be precise on, I love the spray.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna make sure that I line up. We went ahead and like kind of created some little holes in here. If you want to do this project too, you'll wanna drill like a little bitty hole. I mean, it is so simple. You would just take this and you could stack up a few of these. This is kind of like my hack, very simple. You wanna be careful about your table and you're just gonna wanna drill just a little hole. It'll be so fast. I mean, that literally, y'all, that was it. That was the hole drilled through. So now you have your hole, which is really easy. Now, the only project now is to line up your hole. After you've laminated all that, you're gonna wanna go ahead and make sure it lines up with the top of your text, okay? So we'll end up poking that through with like a true control knife towards the end. But now, this is where it's precise. So you wanna make sure you see your pattern kind of everywhere off your project, and you just want to tape it down.
So we have had some questions. First one that I've seen is, can I use infusible ink sheets for this? So yes, you can. If you already have infusible ink sheets, you can cut an infusible ink sheet to the size of the wooden round and then do that. And then if you wanted to do vinyl lettering on the top, you can do that as well. If you are using the infusible ink sheets though, remember those infusible ink sheets are pretty much just pre-printed sublimation sheets. So you're still gonna have to add the laminate to the wood if you use wood.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And the next question is, which side of the laminate sheet should go against the blank? So if you're using like a laminate pouch and you tear the two pieces apart, it should be the matte side goes against your blank and the shiny side is up.
Yep, so this is what it's gonna look like, and we will actually hit this a sub paper down. And let me just explain to you the sandwich here. So you're gonna get a sheet of butcher's paper. Here's our butcher's paper. You can rip this in half, because we only need a little piece.
That's a thick butcher's paper.
It really is for this tiny project. Anyway, so this is the sandwich. You're gonna have butcher's paper down, you're gonna have your project here, and then you're gonna have another piece of butcher's paper. This is what we call our butcher's paper sandwich. And again, we lay it with the sublimation sheet closest, okay? Sublimation, the A-sub paper on top, so it can get directly in there. What's really good is the butcher's paper is going to make sure that it protects your heating source so no sublimation ink gets in here, because guess what? If you're putting a shirt in here next time and there's some piece of little ink that gets, stuck in there, it's gonna go onto your next project, all right? Okay, so we're gonna press this down and we're gonna do this for right at a minute. And you can adjust all the things here. So if it's like, if you're doing thicker wood and you want, this grip is too tight, you can loosen it and things like that. So yay, I love it.
Yeah, that's another thing is if you do sublimate onto a cutting board, it's obviously going to be for
decorative
purposes only. Now, I have seen some people that sublimate on the glass cutting boards using white, is it white laminate? They use white laminate, and we've done it too. White laminate on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you can sublimate all the way through the white laminate.
Which is cool.
Through the white vinyl, sorry.
Yes. So there are different workarounds as long as you're using the back. Okay, so we've done that, and there's even like Dollar Tree, like ones that we've done. So there's a lot to choose from. All right, lift this up. And there we go. You can see this. So we're just gonna remove it. It's very hot. I'm gonna give it a moment.
Your heat gloves should be in the drawer.
Oh, it's fine. It's not that hot. It's not that hot, right?
Okay.
Ta-da! Are you guys ready for this?
You do as I say, not as I do. Use your heat gloves.
Y'all, we don't always got heat gloves.
They're in the drawer.
We got them. Okay, so look at this right here. So you can see that it was like so potent, the sublimation paper, that it like even got on my butcher's paper. So again, I'm not going to reuse this. And Donna, we used this for 1 minute at 380 degrees. So cool this off. And then y'all, look at this. Oh my goodness, look at it. Aw, look at this. Guys, come on. Look at how good it looks.
That pattern looks really good with that wood.
I love the natural wood on the pattern. I feel like you get to see the wood a lot more on this pattern because this one's like very black and like you don't even get to tell it's wood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks really good. All right, so we're gonna repeat the same thing to the back. That's the cool part. You can do the same thing. And we're gonna use 2 fresh pieces of butcher's paper just to make sure you guys understand how important it is.
So Anna says, I'm new to this crafting stuff. What is sublimation paper? So sublimation paper is just a special type of paper that kind of it absorbs the ink and holds that sublimation ink on it. I don't want to say, yeah, it does a little bit better than copy paper, but you can still sublimate using copy paper.
Yes.
We just think that, I personally think that you get better results.
You do,
when you use sublimation paper.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's specifically made for this process.
Yep, and it's designed for it. Like you want to use what you're supposed to. All right, there we go. So again, we're gonna flip this over. So we have our butcher's paper. We have our wood laminate right here. We have our butcher's paper here. All right, so that's our sandwich.
It'll be up on our channel.
Fun. I mean, this one's a really fun one because we're using the laminate sheets. If you're doing regular sublimation, this project like takes half the work away.
Yeah.
If you're doing a regular t-shirt, we would have designed it, printed it, and pressed it.
And we would have been done.
And that would have been done. So this is the fun part because you're getting to learn how you use laminate sheets with the wood and that relationship. So it's a little different.
Just FYI.
Look at this. There's this side. Yay.
Yeah, Carol said that these would be awesome personalized gift tags as well.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
So cute for Christmas wrapping.
Yeah. Super fun. Super, super fun. So the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to poke our hole through the laminate so that we can thread our cord. Love it. Now, Lauren, do you want to come over and teach us how you do your little charms? I think this is so fun.
Sure.
I love it.
So the way that I did these personally is we just got some really cute, these charms come from Amazon. You can do it however you want. There are lots of different ways you can do these. But this just came in like a multi-pack. So let's just find us something that
I think we
would be
originally
cute.
bought these. Oh my gosh, I feel like, could this work?
Oh yeah, those two would be really cute.
We bought these to make like the nurse, like little
that one
lanyards.
in the middle, maybe?
Ooh, I like that.
Or do we like that one in the middle?
I like that a lot.
I don't know.
Maybe. This is for
Okay.
Alicia, so I'm trying, you know.
I know, I'm trying to think like what would Alicia want?
I know. That's a lot. What about,
Yeah, I
what
know.
about the gray?
I don't know.
Marble?
No, not the vibe. I think the clear is the vibe.
I think the clear is the vibe.
I was hoping that would be the vibe, but
Too
it's
much.
not.
A little
Okay.
much.
Okay, so what I did, and I actually just now realized I had two of the smaller ones, but like two of the round ones,
Yeah,
but it
it's
doesn't
okay.
matter. What I like to do with this is, and this is pretty long, but you want to cut it pretty long to make sure that it's gonna fit.
Don't miss nothing.
But what I did was I took this and looped it through here, and then you're gonna take your second one and go through there as well.
That's the hack.
Yeah.
I love that.
If I can get it to go through. I think what I had to do was
It's like
pull it
poke
down
Oh.
like this and then get this on this other side.
And you want to make sure that your cord like doesn't fray. You might have to start it again, cut a piece off.
Okay, I think it's going.
How dare they?
And then,
Rinse and repeat.
yep, I'm just gonna cut this one off to be the same size as that. And we're gonna try them both at the same time this time.
Oh.
So this is the most time-consuming part
yeah.
right here. It's just adding in your beads.
Love it.
And then we'll add in the last one.
Look at that.
Now, from there, if you wanted to, you can add a knot at the top of this.
To keep them in place.
To keep them in place. So I'm just gonna like double that up. And this is to keep my knots down where I want them to go. I hold.
Smart.
You have to be kind of careful with it.
Yeah. And now we have two awesome charms from laminate sheets.
Yep. And one thing that I
it.
want to suggest with your, if you were to sell these, give these away, have them as gifts, whatever, I would not pre-tie these.
Oh.
I would leave them open like this. I pre-tied that one because I knew it was going to fit in my car.
Yeah.
And so I tied it for my car.
Right.
But if you were selling these or if you were giving these away, I would leave this pretty long and let them tie it
Depending on their
around
car.
depending on where they want it.
I love
so
that.
I would allow them to tie it and then cut off the excess.
That's awesome. Well, yay! Oh my goodness. Y'all, what did you guys think of this amazing project? How about it? Such a unique one. I did not realize, Lauren, I feel like over the last 6 months, we have not.
Welcome to the Maker's Gonna Learn channel, where today we are going to be sublimating on silk, satin / silk.
Yes, this is something I don't know if I'd seen it, I guess. You know, when you're like at Walmart and you see stuff and it's silky, the first thing that comes to my brain are the little eye covers.
Yes.
They have like the little lashes on them and stuff. But like before I knew what sublimation was, I just didn't know how they did it. I was like, oh, that's cute. And now I'm like, oh, they've sublimated on silk.
Yes.
It's cool. I love it.
Yes, so we're going to be learning the ins and outs of sublimating on silk, and we're also going to be doing, I thought, why not give you all just a really brief Canva tutorial.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a quick Canva tutorial. We may pull in some other PNGs off the website. I am going to show you how to upload a font into Canva. Now, I do want to preface this by saying to upload a font into Canva, you have to be a Canva Pro subscriber. However, there are so many opportunities, I feel like, for you all to get Canva for free. Educators get Canva for free. So if you are an educator,
any type of educator, you get Canva for free. Nonprofits get Canva for free. There's quite a few different people that get Canva for free. So
with the access, right? Canva Access or Canva Pro.
Canva Pro, yes.
Right.
You get Canva Pro for free if you have if you're an educator, if you are associated with a nonprofit, bunches of different stuff. There are opportunities, but I also feel like if you are sublimating, if you are into sublimating, doing sublimation, that Canva Pro is almost a necessity.
I agree. I feel like you can do a lot in Design Space.
Yes.
But what I really love about Canva is that you're able to export your images after they're done. You can do, once you learn the functions of it, you can do a little bit more manipulation in some ways. Design Space has things, that you can do as well. But
yes.
I don't know. I just feel like Canva is good for people who are heavy into sublimation.
Yes, very much so.
There's lots more things geared towards sublimation type projects. So.
Yes, and Canva, the free version of Canva is still an amazing version to use.
Oh, yeah.
They still have great fonts that you can use with the free version. You just can't use Maker's Gonna Learn fonts, but you can still use Maker's Gonna Learn files. So Maker's Gonna Learn SVGs and things like that, you can still use in Canva, and I'm gonna show you all how you can do that today.
Yes, we love it. So, mini Canva tutorial and
Sublimating on silk.
I love it.
Yes. So let's go ahead and take a look at this amazing pillowcase that we did create, and we'll go overhead. Whoop. So you can see that I'm just obsessed with this technique. And like we said, this specific technique we do have as a member-only masterclass. But I love the effect that you get when sublimating on silk. Like, for some reason, the colors, how they just move and shine, I love it.
It looks so good. And
Absolutely love it.
It looks like we bought it off Etsy or bought it from the store.
Yes.
Or some nice place. I don't know if it's because it's silk, but
I know.
It looks really good.
I know. So, if you all are ready to learn how to sublimate on silk, and Alicia, I literally just now realized
What?
that I left my 8.5 by 14 paper. Wait.
There might be some in the drawer.
Oh, it's right here. I did not. Look at that.
Past Lauren helped out future Lauren.
Past Lauren did. But yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna set this down to the side, and let's go ahead and go over the materials that you need. Y'all, we need four things. Now, granted, 2 of the 4 things are pretty large. I'm sorry. Take that back. We need 5 things because the 5th thing is down here. But 2 of the 5 things that we're going to be working with today, pretty large. So you're obviously going to need your sublimation printer. The one that we're going to be using today is the Epson SureColor F170. I absolutely adore this printer. If you are in the market to get a sublimation printer, I highly suggest the SureColor F170. It is a sublimation printer. So Epson realized and figured out that people were taking their eco tanks and converting them from inkjet printers to sublimation printers. Now, let me just say, the eco tank printers, if you are going to convert it into a sublimation printer, it does not need to have, you can't take an inkjet printer that has already had inkjet ink in it and then convert it. You have to start out with a printer and put sublimation ink in it because those inks just don't mix well. So I love the fact that this one you purchase, it's already a sublimation printer. Epson came out with their own sublimation ink, which we actually we've used it in this printer. It is so good. We love it. So if you are in the market to purchase a sublimation printer, I highly suggest this one because the price point, it has a really good price point. I'm thinking it's like, what, $200?
I can tell y'all exactly, actually.
There's a link down below, but it is, I just love the way it prints. I love the color. Like it's automatically set up with two, and I'll show you when we get there, 2 color options. You can ask it to print deeper colors or exactly what you see on your screen. So
I love, my favorite feature is that it automatically mirrors it.
Yes, it does automatically mirror everything that you print. You don't have to mirror anything. If you're printing to this, if you are sending something to this printer, it mirrors it. I just think Epson has done a phenomenal job creating their sublimation printers. Now, they do have sublimation printers that are way up there. It's in the Sure Color line, but this is their, I guess, hobbyist printer, you could call it.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting a larger printer that prints larger than, so the largest that this one can print is going to be 8.5 by 14. It should not be $4.49.
It's not. I'm putting a link in the chat box for you all that are curious. It's for $3.99 at Walmart. And then we'll add the link to the description because it's not down there currently, but this is the exact one we have at Walmart. It's $3.99.99.
I'm pretty sure when we purchased it from LexJet is where I have always purchased it. It has only been $250, maybe $300.
Let me go to LexJet and I'll tell you guys.
Unless there's an issue and they are out of stock right now, and Walmart is
possible.
And Walmart is, I don't want to say price gouging. I don't think we paid that much for this printer.
I've heard that Walmart will price match about anybody. I've heard that.
Well, they do price match.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to find it on Lex for you guys.
Yes, Glenda says that she's gone over a month or more between printings and never had clogging issues. Neither have we. We have, this thing is sat forever and we've not printed it, and we've not ran into clogging issues. I know that in, especially in printers that people will convert that have cartridges, a lot of times you will get the clogging issues, but I've not had a clogging issue out of this. Now, the other printer that we do enjoy that is a wide format, it is an EcoTank. It's the Epson EcoTank ET8550. It is actually a photo printer, so you do have to convert that one from an inkjet photo printer to a sublimation printer. But anyway, everybody's saying
it's $4.49 on the LexJet website right now. And y'all know that, like, with inflation, printers have also went up high like crazy. We got that, what, last year?
Yeah, but I could have sworn we did not pay that for it.
Well, otherwise, I wouldn't have. And you might not have. Currently, Walmart's is cheaper than LexJet.
Now I want to go back because I want you all to know that I saw this printer and I was like, the price point is there. It's beautiful. We're going to do it.
Right.
And I put it in our sublimation course. So for those that are new to sublimation, if you want to jump into the sublimation world, we do have a sublimation course, and Sadie will drop that link. It's $70 off. Fantastic price. But I'm almost 100% sure I go over the price in the sublimation course, and it makes me want to go back and see how much the price was then.
We'll have to check it. But if y'all are like sold today, Walmart is the cheapest place you're gonna find it at
$4.50. Okay. I did not think it was that much, y'all. My mind is blown.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway,
it's still a great printer and honestly worth it if
Glenda
you are
says she bought it when it
sublimation.
first came out and it was right around $500.
Okay.
I swear I don't think I didn't, but I may be wrong. I may be like thinking of something else. I have no clue.
Who knows?
Anyway, it's a great printer. We love it. It's really, really good for sublimation. So obviously you need your printer, you need your heat source. This is, once again, if you're going to jump into sublimation, a heat press is definitely a necessity. Now, you do not have to get this one specifically. This one is the StarCraft heat press. We do love it, but there are some really great heat presses out there, and this one is on the higher side. Amazon has some really great ones. I'm pretty sure we have tested the
HTV Raw AutoPress.
I know that I've used the HTV Raw AutoPress. I do like that one. There is a Tussie brand that's pretty good. It's really just depending on what you want. If you want a clamshell, a swing away, an AutoPress, really and truly, most heat presses, as long as you get an even heat source, that's going to be the biggest issue. And then other than that, other than your 2 large items, you do need 8.5 by 14 sublimation paper. Are we overhead, Sadie? So the 8.5 by 14 sublimation paper, I like working with the longer sublimation paper rather than 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to show you how to set up your Canva for an 8.5 by 14. And then we do have a satin silk pillowcase. A satin pillowcase, we did get this one from Walmart. It is the Mainstays brand. The other one that we had came from Amazon. Like we said earlier, the ones from Amazon, we ordered more, they just got lost. So this is the one we're gonna use today. And then of course, if you know about sublimation, you know we're gonna have to have butcher's paper. Butcher's paper is an absolute must when it comes to sublimation, okay? You can use the Cricut Easy Press, but here's the issue that I have found with the Cricut Easy Press. And I can say that this is an issue because I actually just did a video, which will be coming out pretty soon, where I use the Cricut Easy Press for most of the items that I was sublimating. And what happens is you have to keep the pressure on what you're sublimating yourself, which, if you know, holding the Easy Press down, it can get hard when you have to do it for 60 seconds or more, right? So holding it down yourself, not moving it, because if you move it, you can create ghosting with your sublimation item, okay? But you can do it, it's just harder. So just keep that in mind. It is doable. It's not my favorite. It is harder to sublimate with a Cricut Easy Press. Okay?
Okay.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to Design Space and, or not, look at me, I said Design Space. We're gonna go over here to our share screen and we are going to create our design. So if you are new to Canva, here you'll create an account, and this is going to be the same with free or pro or Canva Pro. It's going to be the same either way. But you're going to come up here to the top right corner, and then you are going to click Create a Design. My personal preference is to always come down here to the bottom to Custom Size, and then type in, make sure this is changed to inches, okay? And then you can type in your width and your height of the piece of paper that you are working on. So if you're working with 8.5 by 11, you would type 8.5, and then your height would be 11, but today we are working with 8.5 by 14, so this is 8.5 by 14. Make sure that it is changed to inches. There are a few different measurements you can work with. We are going to be working with inches today, and then we're going to select Create New Design.
Also, the LexJet one is linked below. I don't know what I was looking at. I'm so sorry. But the Walmart one I plugged in the chat box. So.
Perfect. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we are going to start designing what we want to put on our pillowcase. So I think that, so you know what? We're just going to go with the downloads that we already have. We'll find something in here that we like. I don't know.
The great thing about sublimation is that you can use literally any image. If we wanted to put a photograph of Lauren's face on this pillow,
yes,
we could. We could put whatever we want on here. So
yes.
The options are endless.
So let's go to our view mode here and see. We've even got fonts that we can just go ahead and download that are in our downloads here that we can use.
Yes.
Look at that. Beautiful.
No, I already seen Groovy Moves, and there's Saturday Night. I can see her.
I love it.
Ooh, I love that drag strip font. It's so cute too.
That would be a really, really good one. We may do the drag strip font. This is a Maker's Gonna Learn font because this is a great one for sublimation because it has detail in it.
Yeah.
And would be great for a little boy. Okay?
Yes, like a little race car.
Yes.
Case.
Okay. Okay. We're pivoting. We're pivoting. We're pivoting.
And we're working on the website.
And we're working on the website.
I've gotten touch.
So we are going to come back and Sam's got our back.
Yes.
We're working with our 8.5 by 14. So to upload images, let's just go to upload images. And to do that in Canva, we're going to come over here to the little cloud on the left-hand side of the screen that says uploads. So we're going to upload an image. You can see we have lots of different images in here. Love that. So you can either search your uploads or you can upload your own files. So we're just going to click upload files. So once you select your file, once you go to upload files, you're going to select your file. And here you can see it is this is a Maker's Gonna Learn file. All you have to do is drag and drop it, y'all. And that's it as far as, and then you're gonna start your designing, okay?
Right.
So, and yes, there are free photos that you can use within Canva, just in case you all were wondering. So we could even search car.
And Canva Pro will have a lot of options too, like endless amounts of options.
So here you can see there are lots of different like images of cars, but I kind of want to do a cartoon style car.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's do car clip art. And now you can see like it's going to pull up more clip art images. So there's one.
Sometimes if you go when I'm looking for like little cartoony graphics, I always go to elements and then graphics. And it'll give me less photos and more like digital drawings. Yeah.
So elements and then car.
And then it's like more of our vibe, I feel like, you know?
Okay, so that's a little tip. So if you just go to elements instead of photos down here, if you come up here to elements, it will give you your graphics if you search car, it will give you photos if you search car, and it will give you videos if you search car. Now videos are gonna be more of a Canva Pro thing, but for Sublimation, we're not gonna use that. And so we're going to want to look at all of the graphics that say car on it. So, oh yeah, no, that's going to be something that
you're going to use that, right?
Oh yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, we're definitely going to use this one.
Should we turn the document size?
Yeah, let's do that. Now Canva Pro, you can resize, but let's just go back to home and I'm going to show you how you can turn it. So if you go to create design, custom size, we're just going to put our width, change it to inches. We're going to put our width as the 14 so we can see it better and our height as the 8.5. And that way we can, this is the way we're going to be designing. Okay.
Unless you sleep with your pillow.
So we're going to go back. We're going to put our car in here.
That is cute.
Yes. Now, for those that have, let's just go ahead, we're gonna go to text. And you can see, like, look at all these, which if it has a little crown at the bottom, it's going to be a Canva Pro. But there are still like some really good elements, some really good text. So we'll put it in here. And you can see Canva has, these are our uploaded fonts. But then down here, I think uploaded fonts, and then
those are all like
here are the popular fonts. And you can see like there are quite a few pro fonts, but there are some really good fonts that are not pro too, that are in Canva.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of good options.
If you all are having issues logging on, we are having issues logging on right now, but if you signed up like for Dollar Deal, email hi@makersgonnalearn.com and customer service is going to be able to take care of you perfect.
Yes, normally we can get in. We've never not been able to get in like this during a live stream or honestly at other times either.
Yeah. So what you're going to do, and I know I just did something. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back here to text to upload your own text into Canva, which once again is a Canva Pro feature. So you can use Maker's Gonna Learn Fonts in Canva Pro. We're gonna go to text, and then right here where it says brand kit, you're gonna hit edit where it says brand kit. And then it's gonna pull up logos, colors, fonts, all of this stuff. You're going to go to add new font, and we are going to upload a font here on this second one, okay? We're getting to that now, Deb. So this is, once again, this is a Canva Pro feature, but you can use Maker's Gonna Learn Fonts with Canva Pro. So we're gonna go to upload a font. We are going to add new, and we are going to go to our downloads, and we're gonna search drag strip.
And honestly, this is such a roundabout way of getting to upload fonts. Don't you feel like it's hidden?
Oh,
it's Canva? So hidden.
Absolutely, it's hidden, but I thought I was going in a roundabout way.
No, you're doing great. I just feel like Canva has set it up so roundabout to get in. You have to go into the brand kit.
It doesn't make sense.
I know.
Like, it should just be upload font.
Yeah, like in a design software, I feel like that should be like a main button.
So now it's just going to say, please confirm the following. By uploading my own custom font, you acknowledge that you have the right to use this for its intended purposes. And y'all, if you didn't know, all fonts and cut files, as long as you are a Maker's Gonna Learn member, you do have commercial use licensing for all of those. So yes, you do have the right to use it, and you just click yes, upload anyway. And then from there, it's just going to upload that. Christine says to go and you can see drag strip regular right there.
I love it.
Okay. She said that she thought that there was a
another
bottom
way?
left corner says upload font, but I don't see it.
Listen, I've been using Canva forever, and that's the only way I could ever find to do it.
So now we can come here to our uploaded fonts, and it will pull up here, or you can search it, but we're just going to show you. Here's drag strip.
Someone's requesting that you go through one more time showing them how to do the font.
Yes. Okay, so one more time, this is how we are going to add a font. So let's say we're just here on the design portion. Our taskbar, so if you're comparing like Design Space and Canva, Design Space taskbar is going to be across the top. Canvas is all on the left-hand side. So this is, I'm going to call this our taskbar. So we're going to come down here to the bottom where it says text. Bottom right there says upload font. Anyway, this is how I do it. We're going to go to text. Okay. Your brand kit here, you're going to click edit. Edit brand kit. And then right here where it says fonts, we're going to add a new font, upload font, and then you would go to add new, and then you are going to search all of your fonts. So let's find a different font to upload. Actually, let's just search OTF and see if our fonts pull up.
Looky there.
Looky there. So here are all of the fonts that we have downloaded onto the computer. Fellowship is a good one. Let's do that. So I'm going to click Fellowship, open. Then you're going to confirm that you do have rights to use this. And if you are an MGL member, yes, you do. So yes, upload away. So then it is going to upload the font, and you can see it is there ready to use. You do not have to refresh Canva for it to be there. It's already there because all of this is cloud-based, so it's just automatically going to be there. So from there, you're just going to add in your text. So we're going to type in Asher, if I can spell his name right. And then I'm going to size this down and then make it big. and then you can start the design process. So one thing that I love about Canva is you can add effects to your text. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. Now you can change the color of your text. You can go ahead and change it to this red, or if you do have a brand, you can upload your brand colors. You can go to your solid colors, or you can go here to add a new color and either type in a hex code or move this around and create a new color. So once you pick your color, then you can go to effects and you can add different effects. Look at that.
Ooh, she's spicy. I like a drop shadow.
I do like a drop shadow, but I think I want this guy. So another thing you can do, let's move this down. You can actually, we're gonna do this and we're gonna send it. This is another thing that has always like confused me with
their positioning.
Yeah, but like sending it to back. It's not allowing me to right here. It is in the back. But it's like, I feel it's kind of like this drop shadow. I want the drop shadow in front of that, but it's, maybe it's because the opacity on it is off. We'll work on it. So we're gonna go back to effects. Let's go back to effects. That's what it is. The shadow transparency, and you just can't, because it's more transparent, you can't see it back there. Okay. So you can play around with that. You can change the direction of the drop shadow. You can even blur it out. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I like it because it's not as
You
harsh.
can make it the offset. So let's take the blur back off. You can make the offset sit down further or closer to it. You can even change the color of the drop shadow, let's say to black, or whatever other color you want. Or there's all kinds of other things that you can do. So this is, you can kind of make it like a whole shadow behind it. You can make the text hollow. This is kind of like their offset, their outline. If you want to add an offset to something, you have to go to effects, and then it's the outline position, and then you can make that offset or outline thicker, smaller, all kinds of different things that you can do with it, okay? The echo, the glitch is pretty cool, not for this design, but I do like that. Or you can change it to a neon effect.
I was thinking neon would look cool, but I don't like that. I like just the drop shadow the best, I think.
Or you can just do the background, which then puts this all the way behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you can even curve your text, which I think is very cool. And then you can change the curve one way or the other.
Yeah, that's nice.
If you didn't know. But I do think that I think I'm digging the shadow.
Loving it, feeling it.
Think I'm feeling it. I still think something with this car has got to change. Like I want it like behind it, but it doesn't, I'm not.
What if you this is what in my brain, and it may look bad. I was thinking make the car really big, like to fill up as big as it can go, and then lower the opacity so it's kind of transparent, but it's behind there, but not so like
Okay.
there's a huge car behind the name. Does that make sense?
Okay. So what she's saying is putting the car, lowering the opacity of an image, which you can do in Canva. So if you take your image and you go the little grayed out boxes, that's going to be the transparency or the opacity of an image, so you can pull it down, which it is in front of Asher, you can see here. So if we pull it down below there, I just feel like the drop shadow gets lost.
And the car really, I mean, you can't see the car as good there.
But the good thing is you can come back and change it.
Yep. This is what we do for fun, you guys.
Yeah. This is
Play around with the designs. Even in the bottom left there is cute, Lauren. Even if the name's not centered on the pillowcase.
Yeah. But it's something about, let me go back. I think I want to change the color of Asher's name.
Oh yeah, maybe that would.
To black.
Oh, okay. That's better already.
And then go back to effects, and then maybe the transparency of that drop shadow, bring it up so it matches more this color of the car.
That's cute.
But it's still kind of, you see the car?
Can we flip the image of the car so it's facing out? So like the front.
Yes.
That might look weird.
So you can flip images. Okay. So let's flip it horizontally.
I wonder if you sent Asher to the back, how it would look.
Let's try it. We're going to go to position. We're going to send Asher to the back.
I don't hate it.
I don't either.
Once the positioning is, oh, okay.
I think that's it.
That's money right there. That looks good. Oh, Asher's gonna have like the coolest pillowcase of anybody I ever knew.
That's it. I think that's it.
That's
because
cute.
the shadow, you can see, like, I might pull the car down just a smidgen.
Yeah.
But like that, like the car's driving out of the name.
I want one.
Pretty dope.
Can you change it to Alicia?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, everybody's saying I like that better. And the good thing is you can make this, because we have made this sheet of paper 8.5 by 14, you can size this up to fill the whole sheet of paper.
Oh yeah.
So we might even this, and this is what is so much fun about designing, is you can play around with it until you get it right.
Right.
I just want you all to know and understand, we never get it right on the first time.
This is what we go through whenever we're coming up with projects. I mean, we're sitting in our craft room playing around.
I mean, what do we think about it coming out of that side?
I like it on the other side better.
Like that right there.
Yeah, maybe a little smaller. The car.
I made it a little bigger a while ago.
Like, it's like getting away.
Yeah. Okay.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. Now that we have that done, what you're going to do is we're going to share this, okay? So we're going to share it. We're going to download it. From the download, we are working with a PNG. You don't have to worry about transparent background. Really, transparent background is just for, once again, it's just for pro users, but it really comes in handy with like SVGs and things like that. So we're just going to download it. It's going to download onto your computer. We're going to open it up, and then we are going to print. So we're going to change this to our SureColor F170. We are not working with US letter. We are working with legal paper, which is your 8.5 by 14. Now, one thing I do want to show you, so you can scale this to fit, fill entire image, scale it here. If you wanted to scale it, you can scale it to 100, which means it's going to print 100% of that. It's going to fill it up completely. I normally like to just make sure I scale it to 100 just so it is exactly the way that I designed it, okay? One thing that you are going to want to make sure with the SureColor is color matching, okay? So especially if you are working with actual photos, like if you're working with photos of people, you're gonna wanna make sure that you come over here and you select color sync, okay? And the reason I say color sync is because that means it's gonna print the exact colors that it sees here. If you go to Epson Color Controls, it tends to print a little deeper. And I'm actually gonna pull this overhead here just a second and show you the difference. Okay, so since we're talking about Asher, we'll just go ahead and show you the difference. So this is what I printed with the Epson Color Controls. Does it look bad? It doesn't look terrible, but it looks burnt.
Yeah.
Because it deepened all of those colors, when in reality, this was the color of the photo that I was trying to print. And this one I used Color Sync, and it synced with the colors that it saw on the computer. So this is the colors that you need to do if you are, especially if you're working with pictures of people. Now, there are instances where the Epson color controls look better. I have just gotten to where I'm a Color Sync. I just go back, I go in there and change it to Color Sync. If you are working, let's say, with an Epson, just an eco tank that you have converted, you have to go in there and manually change your color profiles with the regular Epson eco tank. And we actually go over that in the sublimation course. But if you have the sublimation, the SureColor F170 sublimation printer, if you'll go where you say, where it has preview layout and all of this, it should be the same across a Windows and a Mac computer. If you have the F170, then you should have the color matching options. If you just, where it goes right here, in the drop down, it should say preview, layout, color matching on all of this stuff. Sometimes the printers come with basic print options. One thing that I did do is I did download the Epson advanced printer drive, or I thought you had to with these printers. It was like Epson printer drive that you had to download. So if you've not downloaded that, just Google, if you Google Epson SureColor driver, it will come up and you can download it for Windows or Mac. So I did do that. If you haven't, just make sure you do that. Okay, so we're going back, color matching. I'm using the Color Sync. I'm going to do it on the general purpose textiles, because we are going to be working with textiles. And then just so you guys know, just so you see, if you go to print settings, I keep it on normal for this one, but it automatically checks that mirror image every single time, okay? Every single time, which is, I love it. So now that we've done that, we're just gonna hit print.
Until you you mirror your image and then you print it and you're like, why is it the right way? I mirrored it.
I did that. If you have an option to download the advanced printer drive, I would, just because I feel like it gives you more options when it goes to print to really like hone in on your printer.
I agree.
So while that is printing, we are going to, oh my, I'm using the same Karma Brothers shirt. Love it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna prep our pillowcase, and let's just go ahead and show you guys, let's see. I thought that it would tell us the
content.
100% polyester satin. So I know we had somebody ask silk and satin. This is 100% polyester satin, just so you know. Okay, we are taking this tag out. So I'm gonna cut out this tag just because, like I was saying earlier, the last time I did this, I didn't cut out the tag, and I don't know why, but like when I added heat to it, it was like the ink on the tag came through on the pillowcase. So,
well, we're learning that you can sublimate with black inkjet ink.
I know.
So I'm wondering, like, I don't know if you guys have heard, but you can we haven't really done a lot of experimenting, but apparently you can print with black ink with an inkjet printer and then sublimate onto things. I don't know how well that works. That could be a rumor. But
we've not done it yet.
Yeah, we haven't tested it. But like that happening to the tag onto the silk makes me think like, okay, maybe they're onto something.
Okay, so in case you all were wondering what I was doing, okay, I am taking some butcher's paper and I am putting it on the inside of this pillowcase because this is a fabric that is easily sublimated all the way through.
Yes.
Okay? So this is a must when working with this satin pillowcase, okay? We are putting it all the way through, and I'm actually going to, I'm not cutting this one. I'm just
Are you gonna double it up?
No.
Oh.
I'm putting it down here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to flatten this area out before I put this on there.
Oh, Megan says satin is a type of weave. You can have silk satin or polyester satin.
So,
okay.
This is polyester satin.
Just the sublimatable kind.
Yes. Okay. So what I'm doing now, and for those that want to know, I'm sublimating at 385. And I'm doing, I did sublimate this. I saw a couple different people sublimate on satin before, and they did it at like 400, which to me, I'm not sublimating yet, by the way. I'm just getting the creases out of the pillowcase. To me, I feel like was very hot, and I felt like it burnt my images. So I don't think 400 is, I think 400 is almost too hot. So we are subbing at 385. I'm bringing it back over. And we're just gonna tape this guy down. Now y'all know me and know that I normally like using the sublimation spray, the heat spray.
I was about to ask you.
Well, so I didn't with this because the polyester is such a, or the satin, this is such a, I don't know.
You're worried about like it making a...
Yeah, I just feel like it's just, you're just better off with this specific one just to tape it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway. Okay, we're gonna bring it back over here, and we are going to sublimate this, and I'm gonna pull the pressure up just a little bit. I feel like my pressure was a little much. And we are going to sublimate this at 385 for 60 seconds.
And y'all also be aware of the size of your printing. Like if you do have a wide format printer and you're sublimating, make sure you're not printing an image that is way too big for your press. And if you are, make sure you know how to split up an image and press it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like if that were bigger, our press is what, 15 by 15? So if you had like a 20-inch image, you're not gonna be able to press it all at once. You've gotta like think about it before you go to press it all.
Let's do the big reveal and then we'll talk about it when we sit down.
This is the best part.
Oh,
she looks good.
Look how toot.
That's even better than I thought it was gonna be. That looks good.
It's like you didn't have any faith in me or something.
No, I'm just like, it looks amazing on the computer, but it looks like even better in real life. You can see the drop shadow color there so much better than I can on the screen.
Oh, I can like, looking at it right there, it's hard to see the drop shadow color. So let's pull it up here. Can you see it better there?
Yeah, that looks bomb.
Ah,
it's like better on the pillowcase than even in Canva, and it already looked good in Canva.
I know.
That looks so good.
I know. That's a good one.
I'm obsessed.
That's a good one. And y'all, we created this like designed it in like 5 minutes.
Literally.
Like 5 minutes using a stock image from Canva. And now we did use one of our Maker's Gonna Learn fonts, but I feel like this is something that you all could do, probably with stock images in Canva and a, you know what I mean?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I love it.
Look at it.